Alright, I just posted it. Let me put the party audio on again.
Says my audio is included.
Freddie was in the chat. He said, "Sounds like shit." We have 10 viewers already, Pigs. Hopefully, it sounds better.
Well, you know what? I mean, like my mic
You sound
is
good
like
on. Are you watching it?
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's still lagging a little bit, but like my mic is lagging and sound like shit's like how I'm playing like shit.
Like, can you be heard though?
Yeah.
Okay, fuck it. We're gonna roll with it. If it gets too bad, fellas, just let me know.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're live again. This is episode 3 of the Goat Talk League podcast. We're getting through the season pretty quick, man. We're actually probably about to have a 24-hour advance today, which is pretty sweet. If y'all are watching, I see we have 10 people live right now. One shot just called you a bitch, Pig. Not me. I think he meant to keep the S off that. I think it was just for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I am here with my boy Pig again. What's up, Pig?
What up? For the second time.
And for the second time, we're having some technical difficulties, but we're gonna get through it for sure. We're here to do it again. We're here to provide good content, man. We're gonna touch on some things here today. And, we're going to really kind of dive into a few things. I have a list of different topics, and we will have a special guest at the end, like always. But, we're probably going to have a 24-hour advance, Pig, which is pretty sweet, man. The league's been super active. I actually think we have not missed a game yet besides the Saints, which we just replaced, and we'll touch on that here in a little bit, too. And that's it, man. I think we might have had JP miss one game. It wasn't actually him, though. It was the transition between getting him and Dampus switched out.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've gotten every single game played. So it's fucking awesome, man. It's something we're excited about. And, what I really want to start with here is really kind of looking at the league and looking at these different matchups, from week 5. Because we're basically done with this week as we're starting this advance.
Yeah.
So we'll go one by one on these, Pig.
Okay.
Did you have anything else you wanted to touch on that, though?
Yeah, man. I mean, we just have Denver and Arizona, which I don't know the status of that game, but I believe Detroit and Chicago are playing now, and then the Texans are going to murder me later.
Yeah, so I'm not going to disclose too much. Ant is going to be out for a little while. That's our Cardinals user.
Yep.
I'm actually glad you said that. I'm going to go ahead and put the force in for Old Man. What's up, Old Man? I see you in the chat. I see Mullet King. And we got Rondo in here, too. Ant's going to be out a little while, so if you have a matchup against Ant, it will be a win. Couldn't really give you a time frame for when he's going to be back, but he's got some things going on. Just kind of keep him in y'all's prayers for sure. But if we're looking at these, man, right at the top, I would say this was a fucking huge upset. This actually fucked up my survivor pool. So thanks a lot, Vaughn. You fucked me, dude. But this was a big win for you, man. We can look at the box score too. Vaughn, faced off against the Packers, and he only had 209 yards somehow, but pulled off this huge upset win. There must have been some turnovers. Yeah, the Packers had 5. This is a gigantic win. He feels like he's going to win their division this year. I think he's the leader as we're talking right now, Pig. But, man, this is one that definitely surprised me. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I believe in my pick'ems I picked the Packers to win. He definitely shocked me and a lot of people by winning. But whenever I did tune in, it was a really good game, and the score shows it.
Oh, you got to watch it a little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, Vaughn, man, he played really good defense, and this might be his year to win the division and finally dethrone the Jets, who sit at 2-3.
What's Vaughn's record right now?
3-2.
Okay. So division's not fucking killing it out here, but he's leading the pack as we're talking. So That's impressive, man. And again, huge win. Next, oh, I did not even notice this was as close as it was. Moody facing off with Rob Wick. It was a 28-17 game. For those of y'all who don't know Rob Wick, he is our reigning MVP with Alexander Madison. But Rob Wick in his chats, he gets a little upset. He's passionate about his games, and he gets pissed off when things aren't going his way. I think he said every single one of his games so far has been a rain game. That's pretty fucking crazy. Box score wise, the yardage is pretty similar. But right off the bat, I can see 5 turnovers by Rob Wick. You're gonna lose to Moody doing that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I mean, Moody also has 18 depth players too, so I mean that helps. I mean, Moody's good. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
he can
for sure.
just allow the CPU to. It's like a Tesla, or that black car with black. I don't know, whatever, with David Hasselhoff or whatever, Knight Rider. You
Yeah.
can just cruise, man. But yeah, and I was told that Rob Wick is not taking the disrespect of his passing game this year. So he's trying to throw the ball more instead of just running it down everybody's throat with Madison and his 13 speed.
Well, speaking of that 13 speed, he only had 14 yards this
Yeah,
game, so
yeah.
it was a long day at the office for sure. It was a rough one for good old MVP. Next, we have the Giants, which is Big Pipe versus Beezy. This one was a shootout. It says they said your mic's popping now.
Yeah,
but
I just pulled it.
okay. This one was a shootout. I know that Beasley was down big in this one. We can look at the box score. Beasley scored 21 points in the fourth quarter. I don't know if I think you've played Beasley before, Pig. He is the best at jump balls I've ever played against. Like the best. And he always tries to get big ass receivers. Mrs. Beasley is his quarterback. I don't know if y'all peeped that. But let's see what Calvin had. Yeah, Calvin had 7 for 209 and 4 touchdowns. This is our reigning all-pro receiver. So, what do you think about this one, man? This is one of your division foes taking a loss here. Or taking a win.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. The Giants, man, he's pretty good. But pretty much Beasley, he's not afraid to air it out. So,
For sure.
I mean, anytime that he gets into a game where it's going to be high scoring, I believe he's going to keep in the game.
Nah, when it comes to him having to throw the ball, man, that's what he does. That's what he's always been doing. I agree with Angel. He said Calvin would have been MVP of the league if he played 17 games.
Oh, for
I think
sure.
he had 1,900 yards last year in 11 games. So it's fucking pretty unreal.
Fields didn't even have 1,900 yards in 17 games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Next is my game. This was a lot closer than I expected, to be honest with you. I was kind of coming in there thinking I was about to roll him. It did not happen that way. I actually had to come back and win. He had me against the ropes. I want to say it was like 21-7 late in the third. I threw back-to-back pick sixes to him. It was a rough game for me and Pickett for sure. I think it was one I was just a little lackadaisical in. Really wasn't focused, and he was not backing down, man. He's a lot better than his record. I'll tell you that. He's 0-5. But this guy can play a little bit, man, and I was pretty impressed with what I saw. I think he's going to be a good addition to the division, and he gave me a run for my money, and I was definitely sweating it a little bit. Next, we have another first, actually. We have Bush versus Rick, which is Bengals versus Browns. This is the first time he beat Bush. So it's good to get that monkey off your back. We're gonna touch on another team here in a second who did that too. But Rick finally slayed this giant, man, and I'm happy. It gave me a little bit of breathing room in the division. But what you think about this one, Pig? Can you hear me, Pig? I guess I'm about to have to just freestyle this, fellas. We're having some technical difficulties
No, no,
today
no,
for
no,
sure.
no. I'm trying to switch my headset or whatever, but I guess it's not working. Uh, but yeah, Rick surprisingly beat Bush.
It was
Um,
an overtime game.
yeah, uh, man, I have to say, even with the Ravens being 0-5, it's just proven that y'all's division is probably the best in the league. Yeah, I mean, he's not the he's not the worst user, even being at 0-5. He's definitely
Oh, for
not
sure.
cakewalk. So yeah, so I imagine y'all are gonna have at least 3 playoff teams in the playoffs this year from y'all's division.
I think so. I agree. I also think we're the best division. Fuck the NFC West. Angel, sorry, man. I think our division would roll y'all's division if it came down to it, man. But that's a discussion for another day. But speaking of Angel and speaking of rolling, man, he literally bent over Tyrus in this one, man. It was 42-6. I feel like Tyrus is in. Y'all ever seen that Madden pop up? That crisis in confidence. Tyrus is crisis in confidence right now, man. He is struggling bad. This is a 28-point fourth quarter here. It looks like it was a pretty good game up till then. But Angel ran away with it. This is another one of your division foes, man, taking a loss. What you feel about this one, though? You feel
I
like
mean,
this is how it is, or you think he's getting exposed?
no, he's definitely a product of his team. I don't think Tyrus is that good. I think he just knows how to abuse JT, and I think um, Angel would have beat Tyrus last time, but they lagged out. So,
Mm.
but Tyrus is still
A
probably thinking
product of
he's
the
gonna
team
win.
and not very good. Those are some strong claims, Pig. But
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
hold on.
disagree with you though.
Go look at JT stats against the Bucks. He had like 23 yards. You shut down his run,
Yeah.
he can't throw. Kind of like me.
Hey, you beating this guy, man.
Yeah, I
So,
know. He's a shitter.
we're going on to the next one. This is a new user, fellas. This is someone I did pull over from Bush's league. This is young Stevo. This guy's good. I'm gonna go ahead and warn everybody. You know, for I don't really know the guy. I literally just asked a bunch of people in the league if they were interested in joining. His exact response was like, "Fuck yeah!" So I can finally get a chance to be in the league, which I think is awesome. This guy's pretty good. He is the number one seed in both of Bush's leagues. So if that tells you something, he is solid. This is somebody that we're gonna have to watch out for, especially in the NFC side. I will say the only fair warning is his team sucks ass. Like they are fucking terrible. So, but it looks like he was out there slinging it a little bit. Changed one of his quarterbacks' names to Arch Manning. He's the backup though. I'm not happy to see that as a Texas fan.
Yep.
But you know, I'm excited about this guy, man, and I'm excited what he's gonna do. He did put a little spanking on your boy Ray though.
Yeah, I mean, uh, it's two bad teams going against each other. But if he can take a bad team and score 42 points, you know, I can't wait to see what he does against a better team and give him a full off season. 'Cause don't they have money now?
He has 130 million.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
So watch out. He's about to fucking reload that roster.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing the rumors again that Justin Jefferson's going to be there. So he was only re-signed to a 1-year deal, and the Vikings user hates him. So I think he will actually be there this time. We'll see. Your game is the only one that's actually left to be played, Pig. I kind of give you the floor. What do you feel about this one? What do you feel you got to do to beat one of the top users in the league?
So you see how Angels scored 42 and the Eagles scored 6? Yeah. That's how it's gonna be. But Texans are gonna score 42 because I'm gonna fall asleep with
You
this
think you're
little.
just gonna get blown out?
Oh
huh?
yeah. He's gonna lull me to sleep with the whole run, 5 yards, 5 yards, 5 yards, and I'm like, all right, man, come on. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just in a funk right now, and I can't win anything. But It'd be
Hey, I
nice to
saw you
be.
playing the Legend League earlier. It was a good win. It was against Joe Dirt. I feel like you made the plays you need to play that you needed to make to win, but you just got to figure out how to keep doing that with all your teams. But I feel like you're building things, you're getting it going, but you need a win, man. This would be a huge one for you if you could pull this
Yeah,
one out. And I'm kind of putting my pray hands together, please,
yeah,
because I'm trying to have the number one seed this year, man.
yeah.
Please.
If I beat Houston, I get a full body boner.
Next, we got my boy Fredo. My boy Freddy is. Sorry, Fred. I know you're in the chat, man. I don't think you've still won a game with his Bills, but you're close, man. You're close. You're winning your division with the Chiefs in the other league. I'm telling you, Fred, just keep clawing, keep scratching, because your division is not very good. I
Mm-mm.
think that you can make some noise if you just keep doing what you got to do. All right. So I'm gonna kind of just leave that at that. But Colts, Joe me the homie, he got a big win here. This was huge for him. Next, JP took a loss. He was actually in my party when he was playing this one. That Jags guy is scrappy.
Yep.
I think I've played him 4 times in the league so far, and they've all been really good games, right down to the wire. It's just his play style. I think that he's somebody that just can do things that keeps him in the game. We already touched on this next one, Broncos and Cardinals. This is going to be a force win for old man. What about the Super Bowl champ, man? You want to kind of look at this one?
Man, this dude, like, he just disguises his defense. Like, every Sunday is Halloween. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get. Like, yeah, and the Raiders. He's new to franchise or whatever, but I mean, I mean, very much to say about the Raiders, other than he's new to a franchise. He can't really build a team, but he's trying. He plays, and Willie's team's just really good.
Facts. Willie's team is stacked, to be honest. I think it's one of the better teams in the league.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you're
this game
welcome.
actually just finished, I think. So if I reload, let's just look what the score is. I can load back in. It was 24-14. Oh, H-Town got a win here. Um, go H-Town, man.
Uh oh.
This is cool. He pulled out one against one of his division foes. This division doesn't like each other very much. I see them talk to each other in the chats, and it gets a little feisty and aggressive. So good shit, H-Town pulling out a win against the Detroit Lions, who definitely can upset some people. So I think that's awesome, man. You want to touch on this one?
Yeah,
We got a one shot finally getting the monkey off his back.
yeah. That was kind of like me versus the Skins. Just I couldn't beat them, and then I finally did. Uh, both teams are both 3-2, so that division's up for grabs. Uh, actually, old man's gonna be 4-1 after this advance, so he'll be in the lead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, that's a dogfight division. It's
Dogfight.
yeah, yeah, and apparently ETN's gonna go for MVP. So, uh, the MVP of running backs. So,
Yeah, we've had all MVP running backs so far. I will say, um, if One Shot runs the ball and sticks to running the ball, he's a tough person to beat, man. He just gets a little trigger happy at times, and I've told him this, since he's kind of started this little run. If he can play solid defense, not even great, solid, and he can run the ball because he's a good passer, he's gonna be someone that's tough to beat. So he's just got to continue it. This one was a battle of the AFC East. The Jets, they've had supremacy of that division so far. They picked up a big win, as they've been reeling a little bit, so they needed this one. And then this was our game of the week. This was an ass kicking, if I'm going to be honest. The San Francisco 49ers came into this one. He was undefeated. He was 4-0. And he went off against Rondo, who's the Commanders, and Rondo was 3-1 going into this one, and Rondo took it to him, man. But you want to kind of touch on this one a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Dirt came in hot, talking his shit, thinking he was going to do something nice. Then he played somebody really good, and then he got blown out.
he took a hard loss, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was ugly. Um, it is what it is, though. Let's touch on next week's games real quick. We just talked about our first game of the week. That just happened. It was the San Francisco 49ers, facing off against the Commanders. And that was our Thursday night football, also game of the week. It was not a great game. I think it was appropriate matchup wise. I think they should have been the game of the week, and they did get it. But it just wasn't the game that I had hoped for. But it's okay. It happens. But, as we're looking here, we got Bears, Panthers. We'll just go one by one with these, Pig.
Okay.
I'll start first, then you go next, and just who's the winner and why. If I'm looking at H-Town versus Beezy, I think Beezy gets this one. I think he's just going to kind of overwhelm H-Town a little bit with his passing game, so I'm going to go with a Panther win. What you got for this next one?
Packers versus Vikings, two rivals. Their games are pretty much always close, but I'm going to go with the Packers after taking a bad loss versus the Dolphins. He's going to come out and surprise the Vikings.
I feel that. Next, we got Browns Ravens. I think they've already played this season. I do anticipate this one being a pretty good game. Rick already gave him some credit when I talked to him in the party too. He said Apex, plays well. I think Rick wins this one though. TK Branch, our league's leading rusher last year. He's hard to stop. I got Browns win.
Next is the Lions versus the Saints. I'm going to take the Saints. Lions have one option, and that's J-Mo, and they just lost against H-Town, and the Saints want to come in and make a statement by taking over a bad team and getting some wins.
Hey man, this might be the start of a streak too if he gets that one. So I like that. Next we got Texans Eagles. The road does not get easier for Tires, man. And like I said, it's crisis in confidence. He's facing off against one of the best teams in the AFC, and the Houston Texans. That's sick. I think he takes a loss, man. I think Sick is going to come up with another win. So I'm taking the Texans.
Titans versus Colts. JP versus Jomi. I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be low scoring. It's probably going to be 21-17. I'm going to take the Titans just because I feel like he's a better runner, and his team is built for running the ball because he can't throw.
I feel that. Hey, I am getting a breaking news here, though, Pig. You're out of the survivor pool.
Yeah, I know.
Because H-Town won.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Whoever told you that can
that.
eat a dick.
Sorry about that, buddy.
No, yeah.
All right, next we can kind of skip this one. Again, this is going to be a forced win for your division rival, so let's add more fuel to your fire, Pig. The Giants are going to get another win here, but I'll take this one. We got this one's interesting. I feel like we got Lil Drone, the Chiefs, versus the San Francisco 49ers, which is Blood Blaster or Joe Dirt or Mullet King. He's got a lot of aliases. I will say if you're putting a gun to my head, I'm probably going to pick the Chiefs. But I will also say if Joe Dirt can get his offense going, if he can hike and haul, as Pig says, maybe he can win this one. But if you're making me pick, I'm picking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Speaking of aliases, we have the Patriots, known as One Shot, Moody, Sick, whoever. Not
alleged.
Yeah,
alleged.
Whatever. Get your voice box
Okay.
ready, buddy. Anyways, I'm gonna pick the Broncos, old man, because he's on everybody's ass. He's gonna bring the sandwich that Pepperidge Farm made him and eat his ass.
He'd be 5-1 if he won that one, bro. So That'd be pretty impressive. Next we got. Oh, this is a big one.
Ooh,
We
give it
got
a week.
Commanders. Yeah, it could be. I hate doing the same team twice. I'm gonna look hard. It probably will be. Oh, I don't know.
Nope,
I
nope,
see
nope, no.
another one.
Yeah, I see another
Yeah.
one.
Okay, so we got Commanders versus Seahawks. I'd say this is a statement game though for the Commanders. If he wants to make a run and he feel like he can make a run, he's got to beat Willie in this one. It would be a statement to the league that like I'm here, we're here, we can do this. But I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here, man. I think they're gonna pull out the win.
I'm gonna pick Angel over my boy Ray. Ray's just trying to. Uh, he's done shopping at the thrift store, man. He's got pretty much no devs and he's got all draft dates. But look for Joe Burrow on the trade block after this game because apparently, he's like a $2 whore on a Friday night. He's just getting tossed around.
A penny a pound, boy. You
Yeah.
can get him for a penny a pound. We got the Jets versus the Chargers, which is Penguin versus One Shot. I actually saw a prediction in here in the chat. One Shot said he's putting 40 on the Jets.
Ooh.
So that's a bold claim. Yeah, he's already shooting his shot. He said he's about to beat his ass. So I will say I think One Shot's going to win. I don't know if he's going to 40 ball him, but I think One Shot's going to win. Give me the Chargers.
All right. So I'm gonna skip this one, and you and I can both go
Okay.
over it because I think that you.
Okay.
All right.
That's a
So,
bet. That's a
all
bet.
right. Cool. All right. I know you have FOMO. I'm sure I'm missing out, so I'll include you.
I was a little jealous, yeah.
I will take Fred getting his first win over the Raiders. He, man, I've said it, and I wish I could be like Fred. It could be raining outside, and this dude is smiling, sunshine and
Facts.
rainbows, man. Yeah, his positivity is contagious, and I think that he's going to get his first win this week, and allow it to be a momentum builder.
Hey,
And,
hopefully he can make a run for things once
Yeah.
it gets interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you saved this one. I let's go ahead and do a spoiler alert. Me looking at this for the first time with Pig. This is going to be our game of the week for sure. This is the one that we're going to post here in a little bit once I start setting up the league. This is game of the week. We got the Cincinnati Bengals, which is Bush, versus the Atlanta Falcons, which is Moody. And I don't know if you've been looking at the chat, Pig. They're actually arguing with each other right now, pretty bad in the general chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm over here
they're
looking
going
at
at
Twitch.
each other's throats, man.
Sweet.
So there's some bad blood in this one. I think they're gonna play. I think they're gonna work out their differences or whatever. This is a hard one to pick. They play each other a lot in Bush's leagues, and it usually goes back and forth. If you're making me pick, give me Moody. But man, if Bush won, I would not be shocked. That's how I'm gonna lay it out there. What do you feel about this one?
Man, I think it's a battle of the leagues.
Ooh, okay.
I'm a homer. I love this league. I want Moody to win, but the competitive side of me wants Bush to win because
Yeah.
it makes Moody that much hungrier to be the great one. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
I don't care who wins. I just want a good game and more drama.
Hey, I feel it. Storylines are fun, man. Storylines sell tickets. So, I'm cool with that. I want to do something. I'm gonna pull up the power rankings on my list real quick. I want you to actually invite our special guest if you can. Just go to the members tab, pull up his profile, and invite him. I'm going to go through these power rankings because we did have our initial power ranking list this week, and we can kind of just talk through this. Let me get this
Yeah,
up.
I wasn't on them.
I got him.
No,
So,
say that I
power-
wasn't on them.
Oh, on the power ranking. Yeah, man, you're working your way up. It's all good. We had
I know.
like 13 2-win teams, which is
Yeah.
pretty crazy. And one of the 2-win teams is on the list, and they picked up another win this week. But if we're looking at the Week 5 power rankings, I've not came up with the new list yet. We did have our special guest just join. Let's just wait on that real quick. Let me run through this real fast. If we're just going 1 through 10, I'm not going to talk too much about this because you can read the breakdowns. But this past week, we had number 1 was Moody. Former champ doing his thing. Number 2 was our current champ, the Seahawks, which is Willie. I came in at number 3, even though I will say I did have the most points scored and the least points against. We're trying to make things interesting. 4 was Sick as the Texans. 5 was Bush as the Bengals. And we actually have that 1 versus 5 matchup this week, which is awesome. 6 was Mullet King, the 49ers. He did take a loss. I can go ahead and say he's going to move down a little bit. 7 is the Commanders, Rondo. He beat the 49ers, so he'll move up the list a little bit. Me and Pig will work on these off the chat, of course. 8 is the Packers. 9 is the Chiefs, and then rounding out that first power ranking list was 10, the Chargers, who came in at 2-2. Again, there was a logjam of teams at 2-2. I think he was the best one, and he got a statement win this week, which is pretty interesting. Before we introduce our special guest, do you have anything to add at the power rankings, Pig?
No, hopefully I can be on there one day this year.
Hey man, I think you're gonna be number 1.
Oh yeah.
Once the season
Oh, there you go with that condescending shit. Next week.
So we do have our special guest in the chat. I want to get him in here real quick. I know Pig, you have some questions. We have some questions together. But our special guest, he is the coach, the owner of the San Francisco 49er team in our league. This is Blood Blaster, a.k.a. Mullet King, a.k.a. Joe Dirt. I thought it was appropriate to get him on this episode because he started the season so hot. He started out 4-0. He did take a tough loss this week. We'll talk about it. But, he's someone that has improved as we've gone season by season. So what's up, Mullet King? What's up, man? You doing good? Hey, I feel that. Well, we're excited to have you on the podcast, man. Pig, I'll let you get started with the questions as I pull mine up too. But we're definitely excited to have you, man, for sure.
So, going over your roster, who is like your one offensive player and one defensive player that's not like Warner, Bosa, or T-Law? Like, who's one of your guys that's kind of underrated that you feel is going to make the biggest impact for you? You can go offense on first.
Oh, your audio is off, I think, Mullet King.
Yeah.
Turn on your audio.
Okay, go to your go to the party.
Open?
And then it says include my audio.
All right, how about now?
It should be good if you clicked it.
All right, yeah.
Run through that question one more time, Pig.
Okay. It says turn up your mic.
Mic's all the way up.
Okay, cool. All right, so not naming anyone that's like your high-profile players, right? Like Warner, Bosa, or T-Law. Who's like one of your underrated guys on offense and defense that you think that's gonna make like the biggest impact for your season?
Let's say on offense, if I'm not gonna go off my O line, if I'm gonna go off of weapons, I'm gonna say Danny Gray. He started out
a little speed
like a 70 overall. I'm slowly working him up. I haven't progressed him off a star yet. I felt like I had other needs to progress on devs, and with his speed, I'm slowly getting him where I want him to. But he's gonna be something later on, since he's so cheap. I could dev up.
Hey, I feel like Jerry Jeudy has kind of become your guy in leagues, man. You just love how Jeudy plays, or what?
Yeah. So see, that's the thing. I got Jeudy from Old Man, and I felt like he's came a long ways. He at first dropped a lot of balls for me, and now he's actually he's catching quite a few. He's doing pretty good, actually.
Hey, I feel that. What about the defense, man? Who do you feel like is your difference maker on defense?
Defense, I'm gonna say Hufanga, but I'm kind of curious to see how Benton does on my defensive line.
Oh, the new
Oh
addition, huh?
man, you got him. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that. All right, Pig. What's our next question for our special guest, man?
Uh, okay. One shot goes for yourself. Uh, what are what
Joe
yeah
Dirk's little cousin.
yeah. Okay, so like, what's your prediction for your season? Like starting off red hot, then taking the bad L for game of the week. Like, what do you predict the rest of the way is?
One loss doesn't predict your whole season, but
Hundred
like I
percent.
said, in my honest opinion, I'm in the hardest division. I'm out here. Some think otherwise, some don't. Angel's really good. Willie's really really good, and I mean, with Trill being gone, he's gonna take a bunch of L's. So I feel
Yep.
like I have a chance if I can pick up a good defense and just keep clicking with Judy. Now that I got Barkley in here, maybe get some runs in with him, get him going. I kind of had him going the game before last, but Rondo he got me stopped pretty good. I made some stupid throws, got some picks, so kind of bit me in the
Okay.
butt.
So, uh, what's your strategy in trades? Like, do you go after guys? Like, do you contact guys that you've already like made deals with, or like do you scroll through teams, or like, man, he's easy to trade with, he's not, like, and stay away from one or the other? Like, how do you
Have you
go
ever
about
heard
trades?
of? So have you ever heard of another man's trash is another man's treasure, right?
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend.
Facts.
All right, Judy, for example, I'll give Judy. Judy is a prime example. Old man did not want him. He offered him up for a first-round pick, and he was already an 89 superstar, and his stats were pretty good. And I was like, you know what? Okay, he's worth it first, and then you can just build on. So I took him in. He turned out only wanting 14 million a year, and look at him. He's 97 overall for 14 million a year. That's pretty good. It's pretty cheap, actually.
Nah, that's damn good. Hey,
Okay.
I've told Pig. I feel like I don't know what your side job is in real life, Mullet King, but I think you might be an accountant,
Electrician,
man. Because
lineman. Now I
hey,
do pedal stuff and
you
make money
stretch
off.
the money pretty good, man, for sure.
I think he
I
sells
made. I
propane with
think I've made
Hank
some
Hill.
pretty significant trades, in my honest opinion. I mean, I took the
Oh,
49ers
100%.
were a good team before. Don't get me wrong, but their O line was ass. Trent Williams retired after my first season, and I had no O line the whole time since then. And I've completely rebuilt this team, basically. All new wide receivers, new QB, new whole offensive line this year. Besides Ikuana, or how do you pronounce his name? My left tackle, or
The
he's
left
that right
tackle,
tackle.
yeah, Icky.
Yeah. Besides him, everyone else is new on my O line.
Hey man, I feel like you get rid of guys right before you need to pay them a lot of money. You bring in guys like you said that maybe other people have kind of given up on.
Yeah, like
I
Burns,
think
for
that's something
example.
that you're real good at.
Burns is a good deal. I mean, I'm only paying him like 4 or 5 mil a year for another 3 years.
Damn.
Nah, that's a steal for sure. Well, Pig, you got anything else for our boy?
No, man. I think that was it.
Hey, I know you've given us some suggestions, man, and we're kind of taking them in stride, and we're
Yeah.
going to kind of implement some things.
We
We definitely
appreciate it.
appreciate it, though, man. Yeah, for sure. We
Oh,
feel
you're
like,
welcome.
your suggestions, everybody else who has suggestions too, it helps out the league a lot. It keeps it active, man, and we know you're someone who's not only one of the most active players, but you're active in the chats,
Yeah.
and that's something that we really appreciate a lot, man.
Yeah, I like to see a lot of chat going on. 'Cause you get kind of to see what everyone's thinking, and if you got, some ideas that, I mean, would mix up everything, wouldn't hurt to say so.
Hey, facts. Well, Mullet King, we appreciate it. One shot, he wants me to give him a shout out, so shout out to One Shot real quick, man. But I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I think timing was pretty good today. We were right at about like the 38-minute mark, kind of getting in everything we wanted to talk about, and this is a pretty eventful episode. Pig, you have anything to say before we kind of close up?
Yeah, man. Check out Beezy's. Come on, man. Check out big thing. Check out the podcast, and keep the suggestions coming and keep being active. And good luck the rest of the way, except for the NFC East.
Yeah, except for the AFC North too, and the NFC West for for our boy Mullet King. All right, boys, we'll fuck with y'all. We appreciate it. This is another good episode. We'll see you next time on the Goat Talk League podcast.